This question is on market research. So Natalie wants to know, how would you recommend conducting market research? And I love this question because there's so much to be learned and gained through doing market research. And I'm not a market research expert, and I don't have any paid, so there's also like paid systems and softwares and programs that you can purchase that you pay for that information. You pay to gather all sorts of data on all your people. And I have never utilized those, and I don't have any subscriptions to anything like that. So I'm going to share my organic free way of the intention behind me doing market research is always to try to get deeper into my ideal client's brain and just be like, what do you need right now? How can I best serve you? What keeps you up at night? Do you like red or blue better? Okay, so there's many reasons to do market research. As a coach, it's usually just like that relatability. I'm trying to constantly relate even more on a deeper level to my ideal client and understand like what is going on in her head. So how do we do this? And what can the results be? The results can be that you figure out the freebies or workshops or offers or courses that your client really desires, and you skyrocket your sales because you're speaking your ideal client's language versus just creating what you feel like that day. It also allows you to build a more loyal following because you're constantly tapping into their actual needs versus, again, what you think they need. So again, there's lots of very expensive ways to gather market research and data on your clients, and I'm not going to be sharing those today. And instead, I'm just going to be sharing some of these free ways to really get curious about your people, the people that you want to have an impact on in your life or business. So the first thing is to literally ask them and survey them. You can do this as simply, and you guys have probably seen me do this in my Facebook group many times. Last week I asked you, would you rather have me go live on this or this? And it showed me who wanted this and who wanted that, but also within the community as a whole, a sample size of like what you're more interested in, this or that. So you can ask an A or B question when it's something simple, but you can also do polls. There's a cool feature within Facebook where you can literally create a poll where people just click the box, and you could poll them for what's their biggest challenge as of like right now, lately. What is your biggest struggle or challenge been since COVID and since social distancing, since quarantine? And give them 5 options that you think they might be curious about. And then you'll see throughout those. And then one of the options could be like, post, if it's not listed, like post below in the comments, and they can tell you if you didn't already read their mind and pick the 5 things that they might be struggling with. So literally ask them. So polls, questions, you can do this an Instagram story as well. You can do an A or B, 2 option poll in Instagram story. You can also have them put like an answer into the question box. You can do this in a more formal way where you create a Google form, or there's lots of other websites you can do it at for free as well, like SurveyMonkey, I think, is one of them. So you can create a poll, and you can incentivize them to actually fill it out. So if it's a survey that you're emailing out to your group or posting into your Facebook group and inviting people to take the survey, well, what do they get out of the survey, right? So it's going to benefit you in gathering some literal language from your client, but it may be a little bit of a barrier to entry if they can't just click on the platform that they're already on, Facebook, and so they have to click off the platform and they have to go fill out the form. So it's always good to incentivize so that you're actually getting engagement, and that could be something that you give away to one person, or every person gets this one thing, or a discount on a program or something, or even just like a bonus, like a recorded meditation. Everyone gets a recorded meditation when they fill out the survey. So that's the first avenue I use, is literally asking them, and you have to know what questions you want to ask. So why are you gathering information? Is it for an upcoming launch you have? And if so, what's important for you to know, and what kind of questions do you want to ask your people? If you don't know what questions to ask people, but you're still curious about where your ideal clients are hanging out, what they're interested in, what they're talking about, another way you can do this more indirectly is on Instagram, or it could be also in Facebook groups. I'd probably do Facebook groups or on Instagram. And you could look, maybe you already know of some people, some other influencers or public figures or coaches or whatever your industry is. You know the people who seem to be having an impact. Numbers are, it's just a number, but yeah, if they do have, like, let's say high engagement or a larger following, that might be a reason to pay a little bit more attention. And you could look at somebody else who's in your industry, but not, they don't have to be doing the exact same thing as you, okay? Because you're probably not going to find somebody who's doing the exact same thing as you, but something similar, and go look at that person's website and look at the language, even the words that they're using. Look at the comments that they're getting on their actual Instagram posts, or they might have people asking them questions, and what are the questions that they're being asked? Let's say it's like a big AIP, autoimmune paleo account, and you go because you also want to coach people through their own elimination dieting, and you go to a big autoimmune paleo account and you look in the comments and you see there's a bunch of people asking about alternatives to nuts and like, what can we do because you can't eat nuts on the AIP diet. And you just notice that this is coming up, and you're seeing this a lot in their comments and the way people are engaging with them and the questions that they're asking this autoimmune paleo account. So you don't necessarily have to go in there and answer all those questions because it's not your account, but you can take note of that and go, well, it looks like there's a lot of people on AIP who are wondering what the heck to substitute nuts with, and I have an answer. So you might share that answer, and people are going to now find you because you're addressing the exact thing that they were wondering. What else? On Instagram, you can see who is following those accounts that are like yours, or maybe have a similar interest to what you do or some overlap in what you do. And just go click on those people's account. You don't have to do like the whole follow unfollow thing because people don't really like that. But you can go and you can say, okay, so here's these 10 people that I'm going to go look at their accounts today that follow this other coach who's sort of similar to me, and I'm going to go look at their accounts, and I'm just going to see like the people who are engaging with this influencer's account, what are they posting on their account? They might not be a coach. They might just be a person. I don't know what they do for a living. It doesn't matter. But their interest is clearly partially what this person's doing. So you want to go over and see like, what are they talking about? Maybe you engage with some of their stuff. That's a way to build your audience, but it's also a way to see what conversations are happening and what each of those people are posting about. Instagram story as well. In a Facebook group, a great way to do that is because groups are more niche. So there's autoimmune paleo groups, there's the uncensored empath group, there's lots of other empath Facebook groups on Facebook. And so I've joined a few of them, and I just see like, what are people asking about inside of these groups? There's one really big one with Dr. Orloff. She's a popular empath author. And so I just noticed, I'm like, okay, so her, like, I don't feel like my ideal client is the same as her ideal client at all, or even her ideal reader, but I do notice what conversations are happening in the group, and sometimes I get inspired by that. That's another good way to do market research. Again, these are all free so far, right? Unless you want to incentivize the survey taking, which in that case, it could still be free. There's also, so inside of my course, it's a 30-day course called Launch Your Wellness Biz, and some of you all have been through it already, and you get free access to it in Empath Entrepreneur Academy and inside of my Illuminated Coach training program. And actually, this is really great timing because I had a client email me today, and she's like, the link, there's this really cool website that I used to send people to, and you could do market research and you could see what people are talking about in relation to whatever keyword you were searching. and it doesn't exist anymore. So she actually found, one of my clients found a really amazing substitute to what I used to share with people, and she shared it with me. So I'm gonna share it with you now. It's called answerthepublic.com, and I just pulled it up for the word empath. So you search whatever your niche is, like what are you curious about? What kind of market research are you doing? And so I was curious, and just the word empath, see what comes up. There's this amazing graphic that comes up, and it goes, so how, where, will, why, which, who, what, are, when, can. And attached to all those little branches are questions. So when an empath is hurt, when an empath gets angry, when an empath has had enough. And I could let's take, ooh, this is a good one. I'm trying to look at my computer screen. When an empath loves a narcissist, that means that's something that's commonly searched. When an empath loves a narcissist. I already see that in my group. Whenever I post anything about narcissism, your attention gets piqued. I don't post about it too often, but when I do, attention is piqued. And now I'm seeing on this website that is something that's often searched as well. So I might want to go live, and I might want to talk about what to do if you're an empath who's in a relationship with a narcissist. That's a great way to create content around whatever market research that you're finding. So again, there's tons of stuff I'm seeing in front of me, and there's so much that you can do then with that information. But again, it's answerthepublic.com, and that's a really great way to think about, to actually see what people are searching and Googling. And then another way that's like really super simple to do this is if you just go to google.com, and then you put in the word that you're wanting to search around. So I put in the word empath. Now you can see I've searched it before, so my previous searches come up first, but then below that are the black lettering that shows what people commonly search after the word empath. Or I might say like, why empaths, and now I literally have a whole list in front of me here. Why empaths can't sleep, why empaths can't find love, why empaths attract narcissists, why empaths are rare, why empaths drink. Those are all blog posts that I can write. So this is a really good way to do market research for free. All right, let's see if you have any questions. Carmen says it's definitely a question that she has had. I hope I answered it today. What if your audience is not engaging with you answering questions? So I think I answered that as well, right? So you can incentivize if it's a survey where you're asking specific questions. There's also a way to just go and find the answers where you don't need people to be engaging with you. So either route will work. All right. I'm excited to see what you guys find. If you have any major aha moments after you utilize any of these steps or tips, please let me know in the comments below. Please let me know if you're loving these free coaching videos, and I will see you in the next one.